Dawn breaks over the boundless African savanna, painting the horizon in hues of amber and rose. The first rays of sunlight spill across the grasslands, illuminating a world where every blade of grass and shadow holds a secret. Grasses, tall and wild, sway rhythmically in the gentle wind, their movement masking the silent passage of countless creatures beneath. Acacia trees, their branches twisted by years of drought and storm, stand as ancient witnesses to the unfolding drama of life and death. This land is both breathtaking and unforgiving, a tapestry woven from moments of serenity and sudden violence. Here, predator and prey share the same stage, their destinies intertwined in a perpetual contest for survival. Herds of antelope drift across the plains, zebras graze in tight formation, and warthogs root through the earth, each species adapting to the rhythm of the wild. The air vibrates with the chorus of life, chirping insects, distant calls, and the rustle of unseen movement in the undergrowth. Birds, from the tiny weaver to the regal eagle, announce the new day with a symphony of calls, each note a signal in the intricate language of the wild. Insects hover and dart, their wings catching the light, pollinating flowers and providing a vital link in the food chain. Far off, a deep resonant rumble rolls across the plains, the unmistakable sound of a buffalo herd on the move, their hooves drumming a warning through the earth. The ground trembles as hundreds of buffaloes surge forward, their sheer mass and unity a formidable force in the wild. Across the open plain, animals gather, senses heightened, as the tension of an impending confrontation electrifies the air. In this vast untamed theatre, two giants emerge, each a master of its own domain, yet forever bound by the laws of nature. The lion, regal and commanding, surveys its territory with a gaze that misses nothing, every muscle honed for the hunt. Its body is a masterpiece of predatory design, sinewy limbs, retractable claws, and a jaw capable of crushing bone. When it roars, the sound reverberates for miles, a declaration of dominance that silences the dawn chorus and sends antelope fleeing. Opposite stands the African buffalo, its massive frame cloaked in scars from battles past, eyes dark and unyielding. This is no passive grazer. The buffalo is a creature of raw power, its every movement a testament to survival in a world of relentless challenge. Its horns, thick and sweeping, are both shield and weapon, forged by years of fending off predators and rivals alike. The herd moves as one, a living wall of muscle and will, each member fiercely protective of the next, embodying the indomitable spirit of the savannah. The glint of sunlight on their horns is a silent warning. Here every challenge is met with unwavering resolve. In the dust, the overlapping tracks of lion and buffalo tell a story of pursuit and evasion, of ancient rivalry etched into the earth itself. Each encounter is a test of tactics and nerve, lions launching coordinated attacks, buffaloes wheeling to defend with horns lowered and bodies braced. The chase is a spectacle of endurance and cunning, with lions exploiting cover and buffaloes relying on collective strength and vigilance. Lions move with calculated patience, their bellies low to the ground, eyes fixed on the weakest link in the herd. Hidden in the thickets, cubs wait, their future dependent on the success of the pride, their play a rehearsal for the trials to come. When the hunt succeeds, the pride gathers in a rare moment of abundance, each member feeding in a strict hierarchy, the air thick with the scent of victory and survival. Yet every meal is hard won, for the buffaloes do not yield easily. Their defense is swift and coordinated, a wall of horns and hooves that can turn the tide in an instant. The herd's unity is its greatest weapon. When threatened, they close ranks, presenting an impenetrable barrier to even the most determined predators. In moments of crisis, they form a defensive circle, calves shielded at the center, adults ready to charge with lethal force. The ensuing battle is a contest of strategy. Lions feint and flank, buffaloes counter with sudden charges and coordinated retreats. In the heat of confrontation, predator and prey lock eyes, each reading the other's intent in a silent exchange that determines life or death. These struggles have played out for millennia, shaping the very character of the savannah and the creatures that call it home. From sunrise to sunset, the story evolves, each day bringing new challenges, alliances, and confrontations, all woven into the fabric of this wild domain. Beneath the tranquil surface, danger lurks, predators concealed in shadow, prey ever watchful, the balance of power shifting with every heartbeat. Lions melt into the dappled shade, their golden eyes tracking every movement, calculating the perfect moment to strike. Buffaloes graze with heads low, but their ears flick at the faintest sound, nostrils flaring to catch the scent of danger on the wind. A sudden tension ripples through the herd. Muscles tense, eyes scan the horizon, every sense attuned to the ever-present threat. When the inevitable clash comes, it is swift and explosive, a test of courage, strength, and the will to survive. Each encounter leaves its mark, shaping the destinies of both hunter and hunted, forging a legacy of resilience and adaptation. This is the heart of the wild, a realm untouched by human hands, where the eternal struggle between lion and buffalo defines the very essence of life on the savannah. The lion, draped in the golden light of dawn, stands as a living emblem of raw power and regal authority. Every muscle beneath its tawny coat ripples with potential energy, a silent promise of the drama that unfolds daily across the African plains. Revered as the king of beasts, the lion's reputation is not merely legend, it is earned through centuries of dominance and survival in a world where only the strongest endure. From his vantage point atop a sun-baked hill, the lion surveys a kingdom teeming with life and danger. Here he reigns supreme, unchallenged by any but his own kind. As an apex predator, the lion faces no natural enemies, save for the relentless struggle against hunger and the rare, desperate resistance of his prey. Only the fury of a rival lion or the formidable defense of a buffalo herd can threaten his rule, each encounter a test of strength, strategy, and will. The sight of a mature male lion, his mane thick and dark, is both awe-inspiring and intimidating, a living testament to battles survived and victories claimed. His mane, a crown of coarse hair, shields his neck from the slashing teeth and claws of adversaries, its color and fullness a signal of his vitality to both rivals and potential mates. Each scar etched into his skin tells a story of survival, of fierce clashes with other males, where only the strongest claim the right to lead. Yet the lion's true strength lies not in solitude, but in the unity of the pride, a tightly knit family bound by blood and necessity. Lions are unique among big cats, forging complex social bonds and hunting in coordinated groups, a strategy that sets them apart in the wild. During a hunt, each member of the pride moves with silent precision, communicating through subtle glances and body language honed over generations. The pride is a living tapestry of relationships, lionesses, their cubs, and a few dominant males, each playing a vital role in the survival of the group. Lionesses, often sisters or cousins, form the core of the pride, nurturing the next generation and passing down the secrets of the hunt. Their bonds are forged through years of shared hardship and triumph, each female fiercely protective of her kin. It is the lionesses who shoulder the burden of the hunt, their bodies built for stealth and explosive speed. With seamless coordination, they fan out across the grasslands, each lioness anticipating the movements of her sisters as they close in on their quarry. Every lioness knows her place in the hunt. Some drive the prey forward while others lie hidden, poised for the perfect ambush. This division of labor is the result of years of learning, observation, and practice passed from mother to daughter in a lineage of hunters. Cubs watch and mimic, their play a rehearsal for the deadly ballet they will one day perform as adults. When the moment comes, the pride explodes into action, muscles coiling and releasing in a blur of motion, each stride a calculated risk. Razor-sharp claws dig deep, anchoring the lion to its prey, while powerful jaws clamp down with bone-crushing force, ending the struggle in seconds. A successful hunt is a rare and precious victory, celebrated by the entire pride as they feast together, each member sharing in the spoils. But the savannah is unforgiving. For every triumph, there are many failures. Exhaustion, hunger, and disappointment are constant companions. More often than not, the hunt ends in empty bellies, the pride forced to wander further beneath the relentless African sun. The landscape itself is a formidable adversary. Parched earth, searing heat, and the ever-present scarcity of prey test the endurance of every lion. Prey animals like antelope and buffalo are vigilant and swift, their senses honed by generations of survival against predators. Patience becomes a weapon. Lions may wait for hours, motionless, as the sun arcs overhead and shadows lengthen across the plains. Sometimes the hunt stretches into days, each moment a delicate balance between hunger and hope, as the pride stalks through whispering grass and along dry riverbeds. Under the cover of darkness, lions become phantoms, silent, nearly invisible, using every feature of the land to their advantage. Hunger gnaws at their bellies, and the harsh sun saps their strength, but the pride endures, driven by the unyielding need to survive. The hunt is fraught with peril. A single misstep can bring the crushing kick of a zebra or the lethal sweep of a buffalo's horn. Every pursuit is a gamble, where the stakes are nothing less than life and death for both hunter and hunted. While the lionesses orchestrate the hunt, the males fulfill a different, equally vital role within the pride. They are the sentinels of the pride's domain, patrolling vast territories and marking boundaries with scent to ward off intruders. Their thunderous roars echo across the savannah, a warning to rivals and a declaration of ownership over the land. With each patrol, they reinforce invisible borders, their presence alone enough to deter would-be challengers. By defending territory, the males ensure the pride's access to vital hunting grounds and safeguard the vulnerable cubs from danger. Though they hunt less frequently, their vigilance and strength are the pride's shield against external threats. When the quarry is especially formidable, like a full-grown buffalo, the males join the hunt, their sheer mass and power tipping the balance in the pride's favor. In these epic confrontations, the outcome is uncertain until the final moment, the struggle a testament to the relentless contest between predator and prey. To rule this wild domain, the king must be both guardian and warrior, ever ready to defend his pride, his territory, and his legacy against all who would challenge him. The African buffalo stands as a symbol of raw power and collective resilience, thriving in the heart of the savannah where survival is a daily contest. Known as the Black Death or Widowmaker, this formidable beast commands both awe and caution among the predators that share its domain. These ominous titles are not mere exaggerations. They reflect the buffalo's reputation for unpredictable aggression and unyielding defense. A dominant male can tip the scales at nearly a ton, his hulking frame rippling with muscle beneath a hide scarred by past battles. The most striking feature is the buffalo's horns, sweeping arcs of bone that curve outward and downward, formidable weapons forged by years of growth. In mature bulls, the bases of these horns fuse into a thick helmet-like structure. This shield, called a boss, is a dense plate of bone, capable of absorbing the force of a lion's bite or the impact of a rival's charge. When threatened, a buffalo can unleash explosive power, goring a lion with a single thrust or sending a would-be attacker tumbling through the air. Yet the true secret to the buffalo's survival lies not in individual might, but in the unity of the herd, a living fortress of muscle and will. Buffaloes gather in vast herds, sometimes stretching as far as the eye can see, their numbers a bulwark against the ever-present threat of predators. In the shimmering heat of the savannah, A herd may number in the thousands, each individual senses contributing to a collective vigilance. With countless eyes scanning the horizon, nostrils flaring for the scent of danger, and ears twitching at the faintest sound, the herd forms an impenetrable network of awareness. When a lion's shadow flickers at the edge of the grass, a ripple of alarm surges through the herd, bodies tensing in synchronized readiness. Instinctively, the youngest and most vulnerable are ushered to the center, shielded by a living barricade of adults. The adults form a ring, their massive bodies pressed shoulder to shoulder, horns angled outward in a bristling display of defiance. Heads are raised, nostrils flared, and horns gleam in the sunlight, a warning to any predator daring enough to approach. This formation is more than a defense. It is a declaration of solidarity, a horned barricade that few predators can breach. When lions test the herd's resolve, the buffaloes do not scatter in chaos. Instead, they stand their ground, a wall of muscle and determination. The herd pivots as one, facing the threat head-on, their collective presence enough to halt even the boldest lion in its tracks. If a lion isolates a buffalo, the herd's response is swift and decisive. Abandonment is rare, loyalty runs deep. In a thunder of hooves, the herd may charge back, a surge of bodies and horns overwhelming the attackers, rescuing their fallen kin. United, they become a force of nature, driving lions from their midst with relentless aggression and unwavering courage. For a lion, the prospect of facing a united buffalo herd is fraught with peril. Many have learned to respect the buffalo's fury, retreating in the face of overwhelming odds. A solitary buffalo is a formidable opponent, but a herd, bound by instinct and necessity, is an almost insurmountable challenge. Each day the herd embarks on a relentless quest for sustenance, traversing vast distances in search of fresh grass and precious water. As bulk grazers, buffaloes consume immense quantities of grass, their broad muzzles sweeping through the vegetation with methodical precision. The rhythm of their lives is dictated by the rains. As the seasons shift, the herd migrates, following the promise of renewal across the endless plains. Their passage leaves a mark upon the land, trampling tall grasses and opening pathways for other creatures to follow. By maintaining the grasslands, buffaloes create a mosaic of habitats, supporting a rich tapestry of life. From nimble antelopes to vigilant zebras, all benefit from the buffalo's presence. In this intricate web, the buffalo is both architect and guardian, shaping the ecosystem with every step. Through drought and abundance, the herd endures, weathering dust storms, enduring the relentless sun, and outlasting the leanest seasons. In the face of adversity, the buffalo's greatest strength is revealed, a unity so profound that even the mightiest predators must pause. For here, in the heart of the savannah, there is no greater power than the will to stand together. The relentless afternoon sun scorches the vast savannah, its golden rays shimmering across the endless grasslands. Every blade of grass seems to vibrate in the oppressive heat, the air itself thick and wavering with mirages. The atmosphere is heavy, almost suffocating, as the land holds its breath beneath the weight of the day. Beneath the sparse shade of ancient acacia trees, a herd of African buffalo sprawls in uneasy repose. Their massive bodies cluster together, seeking relief from the sun's intensity. Some lie with their legs tucked beneath them, jaws rhythmically working as they chew the cud, their dark eyes half closed in a fragile peace. Yet, beneath this calm, an ancient tension simmers. The buffalo are not alone in this sun-baked wilderness. Concealed within a patch of tall golden grass, a lioness lies in wait. Her body is pressed low to the earth, every muscle taut beneath her tawny coat. Her fur, sun-bleached and dusted with earth, renders her nearly invisible against the swaying grass. She's a living shadow, perfectly attuned to her environment. Only the faintest flicker of an ear or the slow, deliberate blink of her amber eyes hints at her presence. She is the vanguard, the silent observer. Her gaze is unwavering, dissecting the herd with predatory precision. She notes every movement, every subtle sign of vulnerability. She searches for the frail, the injured, or the inexperienced, those whose steps falter or whose attention drifts. A young calf, its legs still awkward and unsteady, wanders a few paces too far from the protective wall of adults. Its mother, distracted by the herd's shifting, does not notice. The lioness remains motionless, her breathing shallow and controlled. Patience is her greatest weapon. Farther back, the rest of the pride begins to assemble. Each lioness moves with calculated stealth, their bodies low, their eyes locked on the unfolding opportunity. One by one they melt through the grass, their paws barely disturbing the brittle stalks. Every movement is measured, every step a silent promise of intent. The terrain becomes their ally. They slip behind termite mounds, using the undulating earth and scattered shrubs as natural cover, vanishing and reappearing like ghosts. Their progress is painstakingly slow, each muscle movement deliberate, their bodies pressed so close to the ground that only the tips of their ears betray their passage. This is not a random pursuit, but a masterclass in coordination. Each lioness knows her role, reading the subtle cues of her sisters with instinctive understanding. The lead lioness signals with a barely perceptible twitch of her tail, a silent command that ripples through the pride. The strategy is set in motion. The lionesses fan out, forming a loose, invisible ring around the unsuspecting calf. Each predator positions herself to intercept any desperate dash for safety. The mood within the buffalo herd shifts. A ripple of unease passes through the animals as instinct whispers of unseen danger. Heads lift, nostrils flare, and ears swivel, catching the faintest sounds carried on the wind. The herd's unity tightens, bodies pressing closer together. Several buffaloes sniff the air, their broad muzzles raised, searching for the scent of their ancient adversaries. Their tails flick anxiously, betraying their growing agitation. A low, guttural rumble rolls through the herd, a warning, a call for vigilance. The sound is deep and resonant, vibrating through the ground itself. The isolated calf, sensing the shift in mood, stumbles back toward the herd, its small hooves kicking up dust as it hurries to close the gap. But the circle is closing. The lioness's eyes narrow, their bodies tense, every sinew primed for the explosive burst to come. In the grass, the led lioness's muscles ripple beneath her skin, her claws flexing in anticipation. The world seems to pause, suspended on the edge of violence. Every lioness is a coiled spring, their bodies trembling with the barely contained energy of the hunt. Their eyes burn with focus, locked on their quarry. The sun, now dipping toward the horizon, bathes the land in a molten glow. Shadows stretch and merge, cloaking the predators in deepening dusk. This is the hour of the lion, when the failing light blurs the boundaries between hunter and hunted, and the savannah becomes a stage for primal drama. The dimming light cloaks the lion's approach, rendering their movements nearly invisible to the buffalo's wary eyes. For the buffalo, the world becomes a blur of shifting shadows and uncertain shapes. Their vision strains, their nerves fray. With a subtle shift of her weight, the lead lioness gives the final signal. The pride is poised on the brink of action. No sound breaks the silence, only the language of bodies, a silent command that electrifies the pride. The moment of reckoning has arrived. The sky deepens to indigo, the air thick with anticipation. Every creature senses the impending storm, the imminent clash of survival and hunger. This is the eternal contest, predator and prey, locked in a struggle as old as the land itself. Each side driven by instinct, each moment charged with consequence. In the next heartbeat, tranquility will shatter. The plains will erupt in a frenzy of pounding hooves, flying dust, and the raw, desperate energy of life and death. The savannah holds its breath as the hunt erupts with a sudden electrifying charge. The tension in the air is palpable, every creature sensing the imminent violence about to unfold. From the golden veil of tall grass, the lionesses explode into view, muscles rippling beneath tawny coats. eyes locked with unwavering focus on their quarry. With astonishing acceleration, they surge forward, their paws pounding the earth in a blur of predatory intent. The buffalo herd, caught off guard, erupts into a frenzy of movement, massive bodies colliding, hooves tearing at the ground, dust swirling in the chaos. Deep guttural bellows reverberate across the plain as the buffaloes voice their terror, the sound echoing like thunder and sending shivers through the herd. The earth trembles beneath the stampede, each buffalo scrambling upright, their immense weight churning the soil into a storm of dust and debris. A dense, swirling cloud of ochre dust envelops the scene, momentarily blurring the lines between predator and prey, masking the desperate struggle within. The lions, masters of coordinated chaos, exploit the confusion. Their strategy is precise: isolate the weakest, fracture the herd's unity, and single out a vulnerable target. With sinewy grace they weave through the stampeding mass, their bodies low and streamlined, moving with a lethal purpose that is both beautiful and terrifying. The confrontation is raw and primal, wide eyes, flared nostrils, and the frantic pulse of survival etched into every movement. Amidst the turmoil, a young calf, its legs trembling and eyes wide with confusion, finds itself separated from the protective wall of the herd. The swiftest lioness, her body taut with anticipation, closes the gap with relentless determination, her every stride calculated and silent. In a single, fluid motion, she launches herself onto the calf's back, her claws unsheathing to anchor her to her struggling prey. Her claws sink deep into the calf's hide, her muscular frame leveraging every ounce of weight to drag the young buffalo down, the struggle fierce and desperate. The calf's cries pierce the cacophony, a high, plaintive sound that cuts through the dust and chaos, a desperate plea for help. Instantly, the mother's instincts ignite. She wheels around, her senses honed by generations of survival, her focus narrowing to the peril her offspring faces. No longer driven by fear, she plants her hooves firmly, her body transforming from prey to protector in a heartbeat. Her eyes blaze with fury, nostrils flaring as she squares off against the predators, her entire being radiating defiance. With a guttural bellow she charges, her momentum unstoppable, every muscle coiled with maternal rage as she barrels toward the lioness atop her calf. Her head drops, horns angled forward, gleaming lethal weapons forged by nature for moments such as this. The lioness, sensing imminent danger, releases her grip and leaps away, narrowly avoiding the deadly sweep of the mother's horns. But the pride is relentless. Other lionesses converge, their golden forms fanning out to renew the assault, each one seeking an opening in the buffalo's defense. They attempt to encircle the mother and calf, their movements coordinated, silent signals passing between them as they try to cut off any route of escape. Yet, the herd is not broken. Sensing the peril, the buffaloes rally, their collective will hardening as they surge back toward the embattled pair. Panic gives way to fury. The herd's energy shifts, their eyes narrowing, bodies bristling with the resolve to defend their own. At the vanguard, the dominant bulls pivot, their massive frames dwarfing the lionesses, their presence a formidable barrier. With a unified surge, the herd reverses course, thundering back toward the lions, the ground shaking beneath their charge. The bulls' deep grunts escalate into thunderous roars, a warning and a challenge that reverberates across the savannah. Shoulder to shoulder, they form an impenetrable wall of muscle and horn, a living fortress bristling with defiance. The lions, momentarily halted, now face not a fractured herd but a united front. An army of defenders, each one ready to fight for survival. The savannah becomes a battleground, dust swirling around the combatants as predator and prey collide in a contest of brute force and unyielding will. Every muscle, every sinew is tested to its limit, raw power unleashed in a struggle where only the strongest and most determined will prevail. The air is thick with dust and tension, the clash a blur of horns, claws, and desperate energy, each side pushing the other to the brink. Roars and bellows intertwine, the soundscape a wild symphony of conflict, each note a testament to the ferocity of life on the plains. A lioness lunges for a buffalo's leg, but with a violent twist, the buffalo flings her aside, the force sending her tumbling through the dust. One colossal bull charges headlong into the pride, scattering lions with sheer momentum, carving a narrow escape route for the embattled mother and her calf. The standoff is absolute, predator and prey, locked in a contest of endurance and strength, neither side willing to yield. In this crucible of dust and fury, the outcome hangs in the balance, determined by the courage, power, and instincts honed by countless generations beneath the African sun. The savannah is alive with tension as the confrontation escalates into a relentless contest of strength and strategy. The lions, their flanks heaving and tongues lolling, push themselves beyond exhaustion. Each stride is a gamble, every breath a reminder of the energy slipping away. Yet their hunger and instinct drive them forward, refusing to yield. With calculated precision, the pride fans out, circling the herd. Their golden eyes track every movement, searching for the faintest sign of weakness among the buffalo ranks. Again and again, the lions surge forward, testing the buffalo's defenses. Each attack is met with a wall of muscle and horn, the herd's formation shifting seamlessly to repel the predators. A lioness, muscles rippling beneath her tawny coat, launches herself onto the hindquarters of a massive bull. Her claws dig deep, seeking purchase as she tries to drag the giant down. The bull, a living fortress, stands his ground. His hide, thick and scarred from past battles, absorbs the assault with stoic resilience. With a sudden, explosive motion, he swings his head, horns arcing through the air. The lioness is flung aside, her grip broken by the sheer force of the bull's defense. Dust erupts as another lioness is blindsided by a furious cow. The buffalo's shoulder slams into her, sending her tumbling in a cloud of earth and fur, the air vibrating with the impact. The pride recoils, momentarily stunned by the ferocity of their prey. The buffaloes, far from passive victims, reveal themselves as formidable adversaries, each member ready to defend the herd at any cost. The herd forms an unbreakable line, hooves planted firmly in the earth, eyes blazing with determination. Their collective will is palpable, a living barrier against the predators. Shoulder to shoulder, the buffaloes present a united front. Their unity is a shield, each individual drawing strength from the massed bodies around them. At the heart of the herd, the youngest calf is surrounded by a living fortress. Mothers and aunts press in, their bodies forming an impenetrable barrier, every muscle tensed in readiness. The bulls at the vanguard absorb the brunt of the assault. Their horns, chipped and battered, are wielded with expert precision, each movement honed by years of survival. The ground trembles as they stamp and snort, nostrils flaring, sending a clear warning to the lions. Approach at your peril. With sudden bursts of aggression, the buffaloes launch short, thunderous charges. The lions are forced to scatter, their calculated advance is disrupted by the unpredictable counterattacks. A mother, her eyes wide with vigilance, nudges her calf deeper into the herd's core. Her every movement is protective, her presence a silent promise of safety. The herd draws confidence from her resolve. Their collective courage swells, each animal emboldened by the unwavering guardianship of the mothers. The air crackles with tension as predator and prey lock eyes. This is more than a physical struggle, it is a contest of nerves, a silent battle of determination and resolve. The lions, muscles taut and tails flicking, study the herd's every move. They probe for hesitation, for any sign that the buffalo's courage might falter. From the tall grass, a massive male lion emerges, his mane catching the golden light. His presence is magnetic, his authority unquestioned among the pride. He has watched the unfolding drama from afar, but the intensity of the struggle now draws him in. His stride is purposeful, his gaze fixed on the chaos ahead. With a thunderous roar, he announces his arrival. The sound reverberates across the plain, momentarily freezing both friend and foe. The pride instantly shifts, drawing renewed vigor from the male's presence. The dynamic of the hunt is transformed in an instant. Towering above the lionesses, the male's sheer size and power are unmistakable. His mane bristles, a living banner of dominance and strength. Without hesitation, he charges the buffalo line, his muscles coiling and releasing in a display of raw power. His target, the very heart of the herd's defense. The herd recoils, startled by the sudden ferocity. The ground shakes beneath their hooves as they brace for the onslaught. For a fleeting moment, the buffaloes are forced to give ground, the line bending but not breaking under the lion's assault. The lionesses, emboldened by the male's charge, surge forward with renewed aggression. Their movements are sharper, their attacks more coordinated, as if the pride itself has been reborn. The momentum shifts, the battle's outcome hanging in the balance. Dust swirls, bodies collide, and the air is thick with the sounds of struggle. Yet the buffaloes refuse to yield. With a collective bellow, they regroup, the bulls at the front anchoring the herd's resistance. At the center of the defense stands a colossal, battle-scarred bull. His eyes are steely, his body a testament to countless past confrontations. He lowers his head, ready to meet the lion's challenge. The two giants collide, the impact echoing across the plain. Dust and fur fly as muscle meets muscle, horn clashes with claw. The struggle is raw and elemental, a display of nature's most primal forces. Neither combatant gives an inch, each fighting for survival and dominance. Horns sweep and jab, teeth snap, and claws rake. The air is filled with the sounds of grunts, bellows, and snarls, a symphony of wild conflict. Summoning every ounce of strength, the bull heaves forward, his massive frame forcing the lion to retreat, step by grudging step. The lion lashes out, claws carving deep furrows in the bull's hide. Blood beads on the thick skin, but the bull refuses to falter, his resolve unbroken. Sensing their leader's determination, the herd surges forward as one. Their unity is absolute, their courage unwavering. Together they advance, a living wall of muscle and horn, pressing the lions back with unstoppable force. The lions, now outnumbered and outmaneuvered, sense the shift. Their confidence wavers as the buffalo's collective might becomes undeniable. One by one, the lions begin to withdraw, the cost of victory now too high. The savannah falls silent, the echoes of battle lingering in the air, as the buffaloes stand victorious, unbroken, united, and resolute. As dusk deepens, the lions begin their slow, silent withdrawal, each step heavy with the weight of defeat. The dominant male, his mane dusted with the golden light of the setting sun, is the first to yield. Instinct and experience tell him that a single miscalculation could mean a crippling injury, an unacceptable risk for the leader of the pride. Blood beads along his tawny shoulder where a buffalo horn grazed him. The wounds are shallow, but the sting is a reminder of the razor-thin margin between predator and prey. He pauses, casting a final, lingering glance at the herd. His amber eyes reflect both hunger and hard-earned wisdom. He knows when to cut his losses and vanish into the grass. The lionesses, sinewy and alert, fall in behind him. Their bodies are marked by the scuffle, tufts of fur missing, ribs heaving with exhaustion, muscles trembling from the chase. They gather in a loose circle, tongues lolling as they pant in the cooling air. Hunger gnaws at their bellies, but for now, survival takes precedence over appetite. One by one, the pride slips into the tall grass, their bodies blending seamlessly with the swaying stalks. Only the faint rustle betrays their passage, and soon even that is swallowed by the hush of evening. As darkness settles, the pride huddles close, drawing warmth and comfort from each other. Their bellies are empty, but their bond is unbroken, a silent promise to endure. Sleep comes fitfully, ears twitch at every distant sound, muscles tense even in rest. Tomorrow they will rise with the dawn, driven by hunger and hope. Across the trampled field, the buffalo herd regroups, their massive bodies forming a living barricade against the night. The tension in their ranks slowly ebbs. Heads lower, tails flick, and the deep, resonant breathing of the herd fills the air as the adrenaline fades. Flanks rise and fall, sides streaked with sweat and dust. The herd stands shoulder to shoulder, drawing strength from their unity. The savannah, moments ago a maelstrom of hooves and roars, now lies quiet. Dust hangs in the air, glowing softly in the last rays of sunlight before settling gently on the trampled grass. In the heart of the herd, a calf presses close to its mother, her broad flank a living shield. The calf's wide eyes blink away fear, reassured by the steady heartbeat beneath her hide. The old bull, his hide scored by fresh wounds, stands resolute. Blood trickles down his shoulder, but his stance is unwavering, a testament to his role as guardian. He positions himself at the herd's edge, nostrils flaring as he scans the horizon. His vigilance is the herd's first line of defense. Tonight, the buffaloes stand victorious. Their collective strength has turned the tide, repelling the pride with sheer determination. Each animal presses close, the herd's unity forged in the crucible of danger. Their bond is their shield, their numbers their greatest weapon. As night deepens, the herd settles into a tight cluster, their bodies forming a living fortress beneath the stars. The memory of the attack lingers, but so does the reassurance of survival. The last light slips below the horizon, painting the plains in deep indigo and gold. Shadows stretch long, and the savannah breathes in the coolness of night. Under the gentle glow of the moon, the land is transformed. Silhouettes of acacia trees stand sentinel, and the grasses shimmer silver in the breeze. The cacophony of battle is replaced by the symphony of night. Crickets trill, distant hyenas whoop, and the wind whispers through the grass. For the lions, the darkness is heavy with disappointment. They lie close, their bodies pressed together, eyes reflecting the faintest glimmer of starlight. Tongues rasp over wounds, cleaning blood and dirt from fur. The pride tends to each other in silence, their social bonds a balm for the sting of failure. In a hidden den, cubs wait, their mewling cries muffled by the earth. Tonight their hunger will go unanswered, their mothers returning empty-pawed. The pride's elders gaze into the darkness, their expressions etched with the hard truths of the wild. Every failed hunt is a lesson written in hunger and pain. The savannah offers no guarantees. Tonight the lions leave with nothing but the memory of what might have been. The formidable power of the buffalo is a constant reminder of the risks that stalk every hunt. A single misstep can spell disaster for even the most skilled predator. Yet hope flickers in their eyes. The pride's future is a tapestry woven from patience, strategy, and the relentless pursuit of opportunity. For the buffaloes, the night is a celebration of life. They nuzzle and rumble softly, reaffirming the bonds that have kept them safe. Their ranks are unbroken, their spirits undimmed. The herd stands as a testament to the power of collective defense. With the first hints of dawn, the herd will move again, driven by the endless quest for fresh grazing and water. Their journey is never-ending, shaped by the rhythms of the land. The memory of the lion's assault lingers in every twitch of an ear, every wary glance. Vigilance is now woven into the fabric of their existence. The youngest among them, wide-eyed and trembling, has learned a lesson in fear. The world is vast and perilous, but the herd is its sanctuary. Guided by its mother, the calf will grow wise to the dangers that lurk in the grass, learning to trust in the strength of the herd. Tonight's ordeal has forged an even tighter bond among the buffalo. Their unity is their shield, their shared vigilance, a promise of survival. In the face of adversity, their collective might has prevailed. The savannah has witnessed once more the triumph of unity over adversity. As dawn approaches, the savannah stirs with new life. The cycle continues, predators and prey, struggle and survival, each day a new chapter in the untamed story of Africa. The relentless contest between lions and buffaloes is far more than a simple struggle for existence. It is a living drama, unfolding each day beneath the vast African sky, where every movement and decision ripples through the ecosystem. This ongoing rivalry is a cornerstone of the savanna's vitality, shaping the land and the lives of countless creatures that call it home. The intricate relationship between predator and prey weaves a tapestry of balance, where each species, from the smallest insect to the mightiest buffalo, finds its place. As apex predators, lions exert a silent but profound influence, keeping the populations of large herbivores like buffalo in check and preventing the grasslands from being stripped bare. In the absence of these formidable hunters, buffalo numbers would surge unchecked, their hooves and mouths overwhelming the delicate grasses that sustain the plains. Overgrazing would transform the landscape, leaving it barren and inhospitable, a stark contrast to the lush abundance that defines a healthy savanna. Such changes would ripple outward, threatening the survival of every creature that depends on the grasslands, from nimble antelopes to the smallest burrowing rodents. Yet the lion's role is not merely to cull, but to refine. Their presence ensures that only the most robust buffaloes thrive, forging a herd that is ever more resilient. During the hunt, lions employ patience and strategy, isolating those who falter at the edge of the herd, those whose time in the wild is drawing to a close. The old, the infirm, and the vulnerable become the focus, their struggle a testament to the impartial hand of nature. Through this relentless process, lions act as agents of natural selection, ensuring that only the fittest genes are passed on to future generations. The survivors, those with strength, speed, and cunning, become the architects of the next generation, fortifying the herd's legacy. Over countless seasons, this cycle forges a lineage of buffaloes that can withstand drought, predators, and the ever-changing rhythms of the savanna. The hunt itself is a crucible, shaping both predator and prey, sharpening instincts and honing the skills needed to survive in this unforgiving land. Yet the buffalo, too, are architects of the savanna, their sheer numbers and constant movement sculpting the very face of the land. As they graze, they trim the tall grasses, preventing bush encroachment and opening up new spaces for other species to flourish. Their grazing sparks a cycle of renewal as fresh shoots emerge, drawing in a cascade of life, from insects to nimble antelopes, each finding sustenance in the buffalo's wake. Even their dung is a gift, nourishing the soil and fueling a hidden world of decomposers, which in turn support the next wave of plant life. When a buffalo falls, its body becomes a banquet, sustaining not just the lions, but a multitude of scavengers and recyclers. The remains draw in hyenas, jackals, and vultures, each playing a role in the swift and efficient recycling of life's resources. Nothing is wasted, every morsel is consumed, every bone and sinew return to the earth, fueling the next generation of life. In this endless cycle, death feeds life, and the savanna is renewed season after season. Every creature, every plant is bound together in a web of connections, each action, each life echoing through the ecosystem. The savanna thrives on this diversity, each species contributing its own unique thread to the fabric of life. Predator and prey, bound by necessity, share a landscape shaped by their ancient rivalry, a relationship as old as the grasslands themselves. The lion's hunger and the buffalo's vigilance are two sides of the same coin, each driving the other to adapt, to endure, and to thrive. Their ongoing contest is not chaos, but a vital process, one that maintains the health, diversity, and resilience of the entire savanna. This is nature's masterpiece, a system perfected over millions of years, where every life, every struggle, and every triumph is woven into the grand design of the wild. In the golden hush of dawn, the savanna awakens to a silent tension. The lion pride, muscles rippling beneath tawny coats, moves with calculated precision through the tall grass, each step a testament to generations of learned patience and inherited instinct. Across the open plain, a herd of buffalo grazes, their massive forms casting long shadows, every ear and nostril attuned to the faintest disturbance in the wind. This is a world sculpted by survival, where every blade of grass and every shifting breeze carries the memory of ancient struggles. The land itself is a living tapestry, woven with the tracks of countless migrations and the echoes of distant roars. The lions, eyes narrowed and whiskers twitching, communicate in near silence. An ear flick here, a tail swish there, each gesture a signal in their silent language. The buffalo, sensing the subtle shift in the air, tighten their formation, calves pressed to the center, elders forming a living wall of horn and muscle. The hunt is a ballet of strategy and anticipation. Lionesses fan out, circling with practiced stealth, their golden eyes fixed on a single vulnerable target. The matriarch leads, her every movement mirrored by her kin as they close the distance with a predator's grace. The buffalo respond with unwavering solidarity, their hooves churn the earth, nostrils flaring as they bellow in defiance. The oldest bulls, scarred from battles past, lower their heads, horns gleaming in the morning light, ready to defend the herd at any cost. In these moments the savannah holds its breath, the lion's amber eyes lock with the deep, steady gaze of the buffalo, each animal reading the other's intent, calculating risk and reward with a depth of understanding honed by countless encounters. Every decision is critical. A single misstep could mean hunger for the pride or tragedy for the herd. The lions shift, adjusting their approach, while the buffalo reposition, their unity a shield against the relentless pressure of predation. As the sun arcs across the sky, the standoff intensifies. Dust swirls in the heated air, the only sound the distant call of a hornbill and the low rumbling growls of the lions. The buffalo stand their ground, muscles taut, eyes unblinking, refusing to yield. Here, in this vast, untamed expanse, the drama of life and death unfolds with a raw honesty. The lions, regal and relentless, embody the spirit of the hunt, while the buffalo, steadfast and formidable, represent the unbreakable bonds of kinship. Yet even in this ancient theatre, the balance is delicate. The grasslands stretch to the horizon, but every season brings new challenges: drought, shifting herds, and the ever-present need to adapt. The savannah's endless beauty is a mosaic of opportunity and danger. For the lions, every hunt is a lesson in patience and resilience. For the buffalo, every day is a testament to the strength of unity and the wisdom of elders. The cycles of pursuit and defense shape the destinies of both predator and prey. Each encounter leaves its mark, on the land, on the animals, and on the intricate web of life that binds them together. In the heart of the wild, there are no guarantees. The lions may taste victory, or the buffalo may repel the attack, but both will carry the lessons of the day into the next dawn. As dusk settles, the savannah glows with the memory of the day's struggle. Tracks crisscross the earth, silent witnesses to the relentless dance of survival. The wild world of lions and buffalo is a realm of extraordinary complexity, where every heartbeat and every decision shapes the fate of the plains. To witness these moments is to glimpse the very essence of nature, untamed, unpredictable, and breathtakingly real. The lions and buffaloes, shaped by millennia of evolution, continue their ancient rivalry, each encounter a new chapter in the story of the wild. In the quiet after the storm, both predator and prey find moments of peace. Lions grooming beneath acacia trees, buffaloes wallowing in cool mud, the savannah alive with the subtle rhythms of coexistence. The presence of lions and buffaloes shapes the land itself, influencing the movements of herds, the growth of grasses, and the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Every encounter, every chase, every standoff is a vital thread in the fabric of the savannah, ensuring that the wild heart of Africa continues to beat with undiminished strength. To truly understand this world is to respect its intricacies, the silent communication, the unspoken alliances, the fierce determination to survive. The lion's relentless pursuit and the buffalo's unwavering defense are not just acts of survival but expressions of the wild's enduring spirit. In their eyes we see the wisdom of the ages, the courage to face adversity, and the unbreakable will to endure. The savannah's drama is a living testament to the beauty and brutality of nature, a world where every moment is earned and every life is fiercely defended. To preserve this world is to honor the legacy of the wild, ensuring that the stories of lions and buffaloes continue to unfold beneath the endless African sky. As the last light fades and the stars emerge, the savannah breathes in quiet anticipation, ready for another day of untold stories and timeless encounters. As darkness blankets the savannah, a different rhythm emerges, one dictated by the subtle interplay of vigilance and vulnerability. The lion pride settles in the shelter of a thorny thicket, their golden eyes reflecting the faint starlight. In the cool hush, the day's tension lingers, but the night brings its own silent negotiations. Across the plain, the buffalo herd forms a protective ring, calves nestled deep within. The elders, too wise to surrender to sleep, take turns standing guard, their silhouettes stoic against the dim horizon. Each breath is measured, each ear attuned to the faintest crackle of grass. For both predator and prey, the darkness is not a time of peace, but of heightened senses and quiet resolve. Lions, masters of the night, slip through the shadows with practiced stealth. Their paws pad silently over the earth, whiskers quivering to read the gentle shifts in the wind. They know the buffalo's defenses are at their strongest now, yet hunger and instinct pull them forward. The pride's matriarch leads, her movements deliberate, a calculated test of the herd's vigilance. The buffalo respond in kind. Their night vision sharp, they track every rustle, every shifting shadow. Old bulls, battle-scarred and wise, position themselves at the perimeter, horns gleaming in the moonlight. A low, warning rumble passes through the herd, a signal to hold fast, to trust in unity. This after-dark standoff is a game of patience and willpower. Lions probe the edges, seeking weakness, but the buffalo's wall holds firm. Moments stretch, tension coiling in the air, as both sides remain locked in a silent contest of endurance. In these hours, the savannah's true complexity reveals itself. Here, survival is not just a matter of strength or speed, but of discipline, memory, and trust. The lions retreat, melting into the darkness, their hunger undiminished, but their respect for the herd renewed. The buffalo, unyielding, earn another night's reprieve. Beneath the stars, the ancient dynamic persists, predator and prey, each defined by the other, each sculpted by the demands of the night. And, as the first hints of dawn approach, both pride and herd find solace in the knowledge that the balance endures, shaped by every shadow and every watchful eye. As the first blush of dawn creeps across the horizon, the savannah stirs with a cautious optimism. The cool air is thick with the sense of night, damp earth, crushed grass, lingering fear. Yet, beneath the pale light, a subtle transformation begins. The lion pride, exhausted but ever alert, drifts away from the thicket, their golden coats now brushed with silver by the early sun. Hunger still gnaws at their bellies, but the urgency of the hunt has given way to a quiet respect. Across the dew-laden plain, the buffalo herd stretches, muscles stiff from hours of vigilant watch. Calves, emboldened by another night's survival, venture a few tentative steps from the safety of the elders. The old bulls, their breath steaming in the morning chill, lower their heads, not in submission, but in acknowledgement of a night well defended. Between these ancient rivals, an unspoken agreement settles in the dawn air. The lions, knowing the buffalo's defenses are at their weakest in the harsh heat of day, retreat to the shade, conserving their energy. The buffalo, in turn, move steadily toward the waterhole, their formation loose but watchful. A single lioness pauses, casting a lingering glance at the receding herd. Her amber eyes meet those of a matriarchal buffalo. Just for a moment, two worlds collide in mutual recognition. There is no chase, no charge. Instead, the savannah breathes in a rare moment of peace, the invisible boundary between predator and prey holding firm in the new light. As the sun lifts higher, the landscape hums with life once more. Birds call, insects buzz, and the tension of the night dissolves into the routines of day. For now, the truce holds, fragile, unspoken, and understood by all who walk these wild, ancient lands. In this fleeting equilibrium, both lion and buffalo find a measure of grace, their destinies forever intertwined by the demands of survival and the promise of another day. As the sun climbs higher, its relentless heat begins to shimmer across the savannah, drawing invisible lines through the dust. But beneath this apparent stillness, the land itself becomes a stage for silent communication, a world of signs, scents, and subtle gestures. Across the trampled earth, the aftermath of the night's struggle is etched in every hoofprint and paw mark. The buffalo herd, moving in slow procession, leaves a trail of churned soil and broken grasses. Each indentation tells a story, the panic of a sudden stampede, the steady march of resilience, the tight clustering of calves within a living fortress. Not far behind, the lions move with deliberate slowness, their passage marked by faint impressions in the dust, softer, more elusive, yet unmistakable to those who know what to look for. The youngest cub, trailing the pride, pauses to sniff a deep buffalo print, her instincts awakened by the scent of power and danger. Between these trails, scavengers emerge, jackals, hyenas, and birds of prey, drawn to the possibility of what the night may have left behind. They read the ground as a language, the depth of a hoofprint, the freshness of a scent, the scatter of feathers or tufts of fur. In this vast, open classroom, every creature learns the lessons of survival, taught not by words, but by the patterns left in the dust. In the hush of midday, as the world slows and shadows shrink, the savannah's memory lingers beneath the surface. Every track is a reminder that here, the story never truly ends. The struggle of lion and buffalo is written and rewritten each day, not only in the chase and the clash, but in the quiet aftermath, the echoes in the dust that bear silent witness to the ancient dance of life and death. As the wind rises, some tracks are erased, others deepened, but the cycle continues, each mark a fleeting testament to the resilience and interconnectedness of all who call this wild place home. As the afternoon deepens, the savannah enters a quieter, yet no less vital phase. In the dappled shade of scattered acacias, both lion and buffalo find brief respite from the heat, yet neither truly rests. For every moment of stillness, there is an undercurrent of vigilance, an awareness sharpened by centuries of rivalry. Within the buffalo herd, subtle shifts unfold. The youngest calves, once shielded deep within the mass, now begin to edge outward, watched closely by their mothers and the ever-alert sentinels at the herd's perimeter. Each movement is a lesson, every glance an unspoken warning. The matriarch leads with measured confidence, steering the group toward water and fresher grazing, always scanning for the faintest sign of danger. Their horns gleam in the sun not just as weapons, but as symbols of unity and shared purpose. Across the golden grass the lion pride recalibrates. The failed hunt lingers in their muscles, a reminder of the costs of miscalculation. The lionesses exchange low, throaty rumbles, reviewing the events, learning from every misstep. The cubs, restless and hungry, mimic the stalking and pouncing they've witnessed, their play a rehearsal for the real battles that await. The pride's dominant male surveys the horizon, searching for weaknesses, for opportunities that may arise as the herd shifts and the light begins to change. This ongoing contest is not just about strength or speed, but about adaptation. The buffalo, learning to anticipate the lion's tactics, tighten their formations and vary their routines. The lions, in turn, adjust their strategies, changing their approach, choosing new ambush sites, waiting for fatigue or inattention to tip the balance. It is a living chess match, played out day after day in a landscape that offers no guarantees. Here, survival is not a single act, but a process, a ceaseless cycle of learning, adapting, and enduring. Each side shapes the other, their destinies entwined by necessity and nature's relentless logic. The savannah watches in silence, bearing witness to a struggle as old as time, where victory and defeat are never final, and the only certainty is change itself. Across the endless plains, communication unfolds in a language ancient and unseen. Between lions and buffalo, the dialogue is not spoken but signaled, a silent exchange of cues and responses that shapes every encounter. Within the buffalo herd, a flick of an ear, a sudden tightening of ranks, or the abrupt halt of a matriarch's stride sends ripples of meaning. These signals, honed over generations, transmit warnings faster than any roar or bellow. Calves learn to read the tension in their mothers' bodies. Sentinels at the edge of the herd scan the horizon, their posture alone enough to shift the group's direction. When danger is near, the herd becomes a living network, each buffalo both sender and receiver in a constant stream of silent alerts. The lions, too, are attuned to these subtle messages. A raised tail or a sudden stillness in the grass can betray the pride's presence before they are ever seen. Lions observe the herd's shifting patterns, deciphering the buffalo's warnings to anticipate when their cover is compromised. Sometimes, a single misplaced paw step is all it takes for the hunt to unravel, as the herd's alarm cascades in a wave of movement. No sound needed, only the collective tension of bodies ready to flee or fight. This invisible dialogue is not limited to predator and prey. It is a code of survival, passed from mother to calf, from elder to youth, from one dusk to the next. It is a testament to the intelligence and adaptability of both species, a reminder that, on the savannah, understanding rivals brute strength. In this dance of signals and responses, neither lions nor buffalo act in isolation. Each gesture, each glance, is a thread in the intricate tapestry of life, an unspoken pact between hunter and hunted, where every message may mean the difference between life and death. Beneath the dust and drama of the hunt, a quieter force shapes the savannah, one that echoes far beyond the reach of claws and hooves. Lions and buffalo, through their daily struggles, become unwitting architects of their ecosystem, forging a landscape defined by balance and resilience. Buffalo, with their immense appetites, are living engines of change. As they graze, they trim the grasses, preventing any single species from dominating the plains. Their passage opens pathways for smaller grazers and seeds, and the churn of their hooves aerates the soil, encouraging new growth. In their wake, insects thrive, drawing flocks of birds and a chorus of life that depends on the buffalo's restless migration. Lions, too, leave their mark in subtler ways. As apex predators, they shape the fates of herds, ensuring that only the strongest, most alert individuals survive. This selective pressure ripples through generations, making the herds more resilient. When lions make a kill, the remnants feed a hidden world, scavengers, beetles, and even the soil itself, enriched by the nutrients left behind. Predator and prey, through their perpetual contest, regulate each other's numbers and the health of the land. When buffalo gather in vast herds, grasses are kept short, reducing fuel for wildfires. When lions thin the herds, the savannah avoids the strain of overgrazing. This constant give and take prevents imbalance, fostering a web of life that stretches from the smallest termite to the tallest acacia. In every silent warning, in every chase, the lions and buffalo are more than just survivors. They are keystones, pillars that hold up the wild world around them. Their existence weaves together the fate of countless creatures, maintaining the delicate equilibrium that defines the African plains. Without them, the landscape would change, its rhythms faltering, its diversity fading. Here, the true legacy of lions and buffalo is not just in the stories of survival, but in the living, breathing savannah they help create.